Thank Almighty Allah for sparing our lives till today. May we continue to praise, worship, and thank Almighty Allah. Amen. As you all know that the message is a program dedicated to dismantling doubts and nurturing convictions by addressing relevant topics affecting today's society. This lectures offers our conscious minds ways to address our soul properly according to the Holy Quran. Islam is a religion of peace, tranquility, and psychological calm. Will only be achieved by believing in Almighty Allah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Thank Almighty Allah for making us a Muslim and a practicing one at that. May we continue to be so. Amen. On today's episode, yes, we are going to be discussing about who is Allah. Yes, that is what we are going to be discussing on today's episode. And I have a guest with me here. Yes, inshallah, is going to be doing justice to the topic. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sir.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode, sir.
My pleasure.
Jazakallah khairan. Can you please introduce yourself to the viewers at home?
Well, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Well, my name is simply Cousin Oyilami.
Oh, okay. Are you from Oshombo?
Yes, I live in Oshombo. I'm actually from Mirabidi.
Are you born a Muslim, or it was when you were growing up you saw the beauty of Islam and you said, okay, let me be a Muslim?
Thank God to Almighty Allah. I've been a Muslim from birth.
Yes, sir. So the question of the day, who is Allah?
Well, Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. As that question, simply put, let me just let me simplify it a bit so that it won't cost us most ado. You know, Allah is God.
Okay.
So that word Allah is an Arabic word. So I mean, the meaning in a simple form is God. So and especially this kind of program we are discussing is an Islamic one. So let me say Allah is the God of Muslims. Allah is the God of Islam. So and eventually Allah is the God of the universe. So whether one believes in Him or not, He is God. Allah is the creator of heaven and earth. You and I, all other creatures, living and non-living, everything that we can talk of, those that we know and those that we don't know, that are actually existing. Allah is the creator of everything. He's not only the creator, he's also the sustainer and the nourisher of everything that lives or that do not live. So that is Allah, our creator.
Thank Almighty Allah for making us a Muslim. You can see the beauty of Islam. Yes, I'm so happy and I'm excited to be a Muslim. May I continue to be a Muslim. Amen. I should not be selfish about that. Yes. What are the attributes of Almighty Allah?
Well, to answer that question, we'll have to go to the Quran because as Muslims, we have two sources of knowledge and wisdom, as laid down by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. While he was going, he left us with the Quran and his words too, his words and action, which we call hadith. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned many attributes of His in the Holy Quran. We can continue to mention is Hayyu, is living, Qayyum, the all-sustaining. Is the Khaliq, the manufacturer of everything that exists. The As-Samad, the one you have to think of all the time. Al-Wahid, the one who is one. You can go on and on and on. But let's simply put, Allah is that being which is supernatural, which is beyond our reasoning. Our reasoning cannot comprehend the being of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because it was when nothing was. So I will continue to be even when there will be nothing again. So that is who Allah is. In His attributes, He is kind, He is loving, He produces, He creates, He nourishes. He has the knowledge of everything, whether on this earth or even in the heavens, whether in the seas, on the land, on the mountains. This whole earth itself was created by He, so definitely He knows everything. He says in the Quran that Allah ya'lam man khalaqa wa latiful khabir. Is it possible for me not to know what I create? Is there somebody creating a car and you now tell him, you now ask him, does he know where the brake is? You just laugh at you. I created this. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates everything and He knows everything. He does whatever He wills. In fact, He decides the affairs of everything, whether living or non living. Whether a man is going to be successful or not, He decides. Whether a child, a pregnancy is going to be given back to alive or otherwise, He decides it. Whether a pregnancy is going to be a male child or a female child, He decides that. Whether it's going to be cold on a particular day or it's going to be sunny, Allah decides. When you see the cloud, when if rain is promising to fall, whether that rain is going to eventually fall or not, only Allah decides. So He's the one that decides all affairs of this world and even the hereafter. So some of the attributes, you can go on and on and on.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, if you are just joining us on the message this beautiful Jumat here is on OSBC TV, Ile Awuye Okebale Osogbo, and the topic we are discussing is who is Allah? Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who is Allah? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Yeah, sir, what is the relationship between Almighty Allah and His messengers?
Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he, like I said earlier, is the creator of everything. So He designed this world. If you look at some things, you understand that there must be a designer behind this thing. You know, for a seed, a grain, perhaps of maybe a corn, so to be put in the soil, then for it to produce leafy vegetables, then eventually producing fruit which will yield, thousands of corns. You know, eventually, then there must be something behind that. There was someone behind that. So, and for us to believe that actually someone is behind that, and for us not to be misguided into believing something else as being behind them, that is why He has been sending a lot of messengers to us. You know, that they come to us, to tell us about Allah, who He is, what He wants from us, why He has made things to be the way they are, and a lot of other lessons we learn from them. And He has started that since He started the creation of human beings. You know, He has created a lot of things before He started creating men. So, and according to the Islamic story of existence, you know, the one we find in the Quran, you know, Adam was the first person He created. He himself was also a prophet. He was just sent to his own household too, because then there were no people on this surface of the land. So, you know, they were created. They lived partially in the garden of Al-Jannah before Allah actually sent them to the land. So, beside that, after them, there have been a series of prophets that have come after Adam. You can mention Moses, you can mention Abraham, you can mention Isa, you can mention Lut, and a lot of other prophets. And the last of which is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who came with the last message. Telling us about what the four messengers have told us. You know, reminding us so that we don't go astray from the path that has been laid down by the prophets who came before him. You know, and he's cementing all the rules of Allah so that after then there will be no prophet again. Then we are going to be getting closer to Allah by the day. So these prophets, they are not God. We must not make that mistake. No prophet is a God. No, because God is different from prophets, and the attributes of Allah, like I said earlier, those prophets don't have that attribute. You know, if you go to Quran chapter 2 verse 255, Allah says, Allahu la ilaha illa wa la yuqim. You call it ayatul kursi. La ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. He says, neither does slumber or weariness overtakes him, nor sleep. So, and we know that all other prophets that came, you know, they slept. So they slept, they woke, they slept, they woke until they slept, eternally, and they did not wake up again. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that he doesn't sleep, he doesn't get tired. So prophets are human beings like us. They are just special in the sense that Allah gives them revelations. He gives some of them books, like Quran, like Torah, and so on and so forth, because at a time. And also, at times they receive revelation from Him, maybe in their sleeps, or at times He sends angels to them, so giving them instructions, messages to tell us as followers. So those are the prophets. You know, they don't have any rule on them, on themselves, but they are giving us the messages from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are messengers.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes. Oh, you are just joining us, like I said earlier, that the program you are watching is the message on OSBC TV, Ile Awuye Okebale Osogbo. Yes, and the program we have you are on is the message, and what we'll be discussing is who is Almighty Allah. And you read from our guest, yes, is Almighty Allah. He neither sleeps nor slumber. Yes, that is how mighty Almighty Allah is. We will be right back after this short break. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim. Rabbana waj'alna muslimaini laka wa min dhurriyyatina ummatan muslimatan laka wa arina manasikana wa tubi alaina innaka anta tawwabur rahim. Rabbana wab'ath fihim rasulan minhum yatlu alayhim ayatika wa yu'allimuhumul kitaba wal hikmata wa yuzakkihim innaka antal azizul hakim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Rabbana afrigh alayna sabran wa thabbit aqdamana wansurna ala liqawmil kafirin.
Welcome back. Yes, we are just joining us on the message is beautiful Jumat. Yes, the topic we are discussing is who is Almighty Allah, and our guest here has been doing justice to the topic. Yes, like he said Almighty Allah is the greatest. Yes, he's the one that neither sleep nor slumbers. And we too, as a person, we can't deny the fact that there is someone that is Almighty Allah. We've seen the wonders. Even when I look at myself, I know, yes, there is Almighty Allah. I don't need to be told or to be convinced before I know that there is Almighty Allah. May Almighty Allah continue to be with us. So, how easy it is to believe the existence of Almighty Allah without seeing Him?
Well, thank you. Allah is beyond an object that our reasoning or our eyesight can comprehend. Allah is beyond something you have to say that seeing is believing before you believe Him. Okay, even before we go to that, there are a lot of things that we believe exist and we have never seen them. Do I start from mind? If I say, as I'm looking at you in my mind, so then you ask me, why is that mind telling me something? My mind is telling me to go and do something. Then somebody can ask, why is that your mind telling you to go and do something? So if you say that, what I understand about them is that there is a great love between them. Have you seen that love between them? And you believe that that love actually exists between two people without seeing that love. So that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that being that you don't have to see Him before you understand that He exists. Because by the time you start seeing His handworks, His mysteries, the way He does things, then you believe that actually somebody is called Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, even on this earth now in academics, let me put that because I'm a teacher. I'm a science teacher to be specific. Okay. We have always read about atoms, about electrons, as professors, I've not seen any of them bringing it to see it in the laboratory or anywhere that okay, this is the electron, but we believe this electron exists and it reacts with some certain other things to form this forms this and all that. So by the time we go to the chemistry lab and we're reciting the helium D2 and all that, so many of us have not seen that before, but we believe they exist because that is what they have told us. And we at times we see the reactions of such chemicals and other molecules like that. So we believe it exists. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists. Even those prophets that we are practically believing in them today, we have not seen them. We did not meet them. Actually, some people met them, but we did not meet them, or we believe they exist. So the devil, we believe devil exists, and nobody has seen devil before. So we believe evil exists. We believe witches exist. We don't see them, and we believe in them. So how about of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who creates everything? So it won't be reason for anybody to be thinking that you have to see something before you believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually exists. Okay, let me put it this way. You and I, let me say in the last 50 or 60 years, we were nowhere to be found.
Yes.
We were nowhere to be found. So practically maybe, okay, let's put it on 100. In the last 100 years, we were nowhere to. If you are saying that, okay, we were in the bottom of our father, we were in the stomach of our mom, that's a pure lie as a scientist, because testes, spermatozoa that reacts, that fuses with the egg, to produce a baby, they are produced when needed. So it means they were not in existence in the last 100 years, and very likely in the next 100 years, you and I will not be existing there. So I will believe that, okay, in the next 100 years, some people will be existing, even though we have not met them.
Yes.
So there are some children unborn. You can be thinking of, this is the name I'm going to give my child. If I have a twins, if I have a son, I will give him this way. You have that conception. You have a thinking that, okay, your baby is going to look like this, even though you have not met the baby. So if you can start to believe all that, then we have to believe that something is behind those things, yes, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's just that we have to continue to pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not mislead us, because some people have been misled, some people have misguided. They were in the act of believing that God exists before, so all of a sudden they just start putting one thing to the other, and they are saying, it's not reasonable. How can God exist? So it's unfortunate for them. So we just pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not, let us fall into that kind of mistake that will ask us to ask questions that will mislead us.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir. Does Allah not understand other language than Arabic?
Oh, thank you. Very good question. Allah understands every language. Yes, because He knows everything, not to even talk of language. According to that verse of the Quran that I was quoting the other time, to Kursi, it says, "Lauma fi samawati wa ma fil ardi." Everything on earth and in the heavens belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So definitely He owns languages too. No, the thing is that, okay, we should understand that the first person that was created was Adam subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is Prophet Adam. He had a language, he spoke. All other prophets that came after them, they have the languages they spoke. But one of the mysteries of Arabic language, or perhaps one of the mysteries of Prophet Muhammad is that those prophets that came before him, they died with their languages. Those languages perished with them. Those languages ceased to exist. So after the demise of those prophets, but Arabic language continued to exist even after the death of Prophet Muhammad. It's been 1,000 and something years ago now. The language is still being spoken widely. I don't want to make mistakes. I think it's the third largest spoken language in the world now. Because one thing about Islam is that when you are a Muslim and you have to understand some level of Arabic language, because you have to worship inside that language. Yes. If you are a Portuguese, you'll be speaking Portuguese, but when you want to observe Salat, you have to speak Arabic. So when you are a Yoruba man, you may be greeting your people, you may be reacting in Yoruba language. When it is time for you to observe Salat, you have to speak Arabic. That's why when you go to Mecca, people from all walks of life, all countries of life, India, Germany, America, wherever you come from, Togo, wherever. By the time the Imam of Saudi Arabia says Allahu Akbar, you cannot say Allah Tobi, telling them that you are from Yoruba land. So you have to say Allahu Akbar. When he says Sami Allahu man hamida, you have to say Rabbana wa lakal hamd. So you have to speak this language. So it is not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not understand other languages. If you say that, then maybe when Moses was alive, he couldn't speak with Allah, because we read that Moses was speaking with Allah directly. There was no intermediary between Moses and Allah when they were speaking, when they are changing words. And he did not speak Arabic. So definitely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala understands all language, because He actually created them. So,
thank you very much, sir. So, what advice you have for people that are having their faith shaking?
Yes, well, it is understandable and it is expected. Even when you see something clearly like this, some people can still come up with arguments that will make you to start thinking that they're correct. For instance, as you're putting on white hijab now, if somebody comes now and say, Mariam, I like your black hijab. I'm seeing white, but I will give a second thought to what he will say. Is he putting on black? I will check it again. If somebody comes again, this is black hijab, it's fine. Somebody else comes, I will start thinking, am I the one having problem? Why is it that only I is seeing it as a white hijab? So, but when I am convinced, I am sure this is white hijab, even if 1,000 people says it is black, as I will still continue to believe this is. So I will just give advice to Muslim brothers that you have already been blessed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you to be Muslims. It's not something you bargain for. It's not something you deserve. Let me put it that way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides who is going to be a Muslim, is going to be in other faith. So and that you are a Muslim is a favor that you cannot thank Allah enough on. So you have to just appreciate that fact, and you have to continue working on it so that you don't get to. What to understand is that we have three kind of creations. We have angels, we have jinns, the demons, and we have the human beings. What to understand is that the angels they don't have the issue of increase or decrease in their faith. Allah has created them to believe in what they believe on, and there is nothing you tell them that will make them to change. But human beings, our faith goes up and comes down. So one does have to be relevant all the time. You have to be constant in your ways of doing things, in your ways of worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you observe your salat every day, you do everything that Allah commands you to do. Eventually, you even be far away from somebody that can convince that okay, it's no more Allah that is God. So that's the advice.
Thank you very much, sir. Can you please introduce yourself once again?
Yes, my name is Cousin Oyelami.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us on today's episode, Jazakallah Khairan. Yeah, sir. If you are just watching us, or you've been watching us since, yes, the topic we discussed, like I said earlier, is who is Almighty Allah, and our guests have done justice to the topic, yes, and I hope you've learned one or more from today's episode. Don't let us forget, yes, we should keep praising Almighty Allah by saying Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, and Allahu Akbar. May Almighty Allah continue to have mercy on us. Thanks to all the crew members in the studio. Thanks for always. Jazakallah khairan. My name is Maria Owodoni. Thanks for joining us on today's episode. See you next time, same time on the same station. Inshallah. Masalam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim. Rabbana waj'alna muslimaini laka wa min dhurriyyatina ummatan muslimatan laka wa arina manasikana wa tubi alaina innaka anta tawwabur rahim. Rabbana wab'ath fihim rasulan minhum yatlu alayhim ayatika wa yuallimuhumul kitaba wal hikmata wa yuzakkihim innaka antal azizul hakim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Rabbana afrigh alayna sabran wa thabbit
fọmọlọ́yàn ó ṣe pàtàkì ó ṣe kókó ká fọmọlọ́yàn lóṣù mẹ́fà àkọ́kọ́.